Hello, Jivamukti here, present to you. Mike Ratner, Mike Rich, the Grey Wolf, many different terms of endearment. So we're at the early stages of the pre-launch of Spirit College, and I'm responding to emails, chats, texts, social media messages, and so forth. And there's definitely a central interest here in what this project offers, and I'm very excited to have that kind of support. And the responses have been really, for the most part, like 99.8%, very positive. So, what some of the comments and interests where people have sort of expressed interest and also maybe phrased a question or two was to infer about how do we come into it and what is a philosophy with the Spirit College. So, I want to talk just briefly about three tiers, and this is just throwing out there for consideration because I do look at this as a community. Where I approached this and what inspired me is my early experiences really starting from 9, particularly to age 13 when I began to explore and actually became an active member of really new age type religions at that time. And for the mid to latter 70s, that's pretty amazing that an eighth grader would take that step. But it began at 9 years old when I saw a classified ad in the back of Mad magazine or one of those type of comic books. And it said, visit other worlds, P.O. Box, Las Vegas. And it's like, wow, that's cool. I want to know what that's about. Visit other worlds. So I look at this as, well, how do we visit other dimensions in the realm of enhancing our life and achieving the greatest outcome, right? All the religions talk about the next level, right? Where you go after you die, and initiations, personal growth. So that's what fueled and fed my early interest. And by the way, I intended, but at age 9, did not write Las Vegas to find out what Visit Other Worlds was about. And they weren't referring to book a ticket through a travel agency. That was not what that was about. It was about out of the body projections, astral travel, soul travel. Now, in creating this Spirit College, it comes from the concept that we're all in the school of life, and how can we come to know it a bit better through our personal experiences, our personal growth. So it comes from it from the perspective that you have to be open, and so in that way, I cannot endorse or even really recommend a particular path or religion, a tradition, a teaching that wouldn't be right, but allows those teachers to come in and be able to provide their wisdom and their knowledge. And then in that way, Spirit College becomes the platform which we can attract those that have an interest. And that's what makes it really powerful. And it's a strong magnetizer for me because I'll get to learn from you if you're one of those uh, folks out there that has particular wisdom and, gee, you just really want to pass this on. You might be the last of a particular generation, of a particular tradition. You've got a particular bent on something, some insight that is could be really beneficial for humanity. Well, Spirit College becomes a repository. It's a place where you can put it. And for those of you that want to make a livelihood as an instructor, well, there's really no better opportunity out there. There are obviously other platforms, right, like Udemy and Coursera, and I can go on and on in that regard. Uh, but this is really dedicated to a spiritualized perspective and that kind of education. So I'm just getting some messages there in the Skype. Let's look at this and so explore a bit more. All right, we're 4 minutes into this right now. Take a deep breath, please. Let it go, and let's explore the possibilities here. So I come to Spirit College as a spiritual student. I see a plethora, variety of different courses, lectures, and talks that I can explore, and I can check them out. I can come to it as a student at large, which means I can take a variety of different courses and just sort of experiment, get a taste of things, like selections off of a menu, or going to a smorgasbord. And that way I get a variety. I get to see all that's out there. And then another perspective might be what's inspiring me on the inner, right? And I might be drawn to a particular path or a teaching that is only found on Spirit College. and or I might be offering that, and there might be a school within a school. If you go to Harvard's website, right, Harvard University, there are many schools within the school, and that's what Spirit College will offer. There could be an institute within the school and academies. I'm already talking to people that are doing that, and they have their own direction, and we'll be part of a brotherhood, sisterhood. It's really more dimension to where we're all connected as a network. And that's powerful because everyone draws a different group, has a particular following, and it's a bit of a mishmash, right? So that way I get to learn a little bit more about what you have to offer, and um, my following comes to you, and the same goes back and forth, and we strengthen each other on the levels of where we can support each other and what principles we share and have in common. We all have an interest in creating a sustainable future, right? Creating a peaceable lifestyle and being able to contribute and give back to society and to create something better, to leave a legacy. Well, this certainly is that opportunity. Spirit College offers that. So if you're just finding this video by chance, you want to know what we're talking about. We're talking about the launch of Spirit College, and that's spiritcollege.com and .org, spiritcollege.com. And it's meant to be an accessible, open, universal type of school where if you're an instructor or you like to teach, it could be anything from the range of A to Z or Y, which is yoga, practices, so from health and wellness to wealth and prosperity and abundance to relationships, the whole gamut of what could potentially be offered, you would be able to find. And there are enough teachers and researchers, fellow explorers out there that as we find content we can contribute and at the same time, benefit from each other's knowledge and education and explorations and findings. It's all about discovery, right? So we are living already, in one sense, if you believe that life is a learning experience and there are definitely lessons, that Spirit College is sort of the embodiment and creating something in which we're able to sort of share our best practices and give our insights to each other. And whether you're a student or a teacher. And right now, in the early stages of this, we are looking to have instructors come on board. So if that's of interest to you, definitely should go to the spiritcollege.com website and sign up and propose and suggest a course. There's a lot of different interests out there, so why not be a part of this? I'm very excited about it because it's sort of been a life calling for a long time, going back to at least age 13 where I took that dive. And where I've had the idea really for the last decade or so, I had a couple babies in the last decade, and so my two girls are 10 and 8 right now, and it just seems right now there's a new calling. When we just moved about a year ago from New York State back to the Midwest, and a year and a half ago I was back in LA where my babies were born, and I met with my fellow travelers and we talked about this idea, and they just loved it, and they were encouraging me to do it, but they understood that I was going through a transition and, moving a whole family from the East Coast to the Midwest and taking care of business on the West Coast had me all over the place. But it does seem the time is right. And so I have to do it as part of a family, and this is an open invitation for you to be a part of this. Again, the platform is open, right? So the basic rules will be of decorum, right? How to conduct oneself so that we're not infringing other people's space. And if you know me, you know I'm very permission-based. I don't want to create karmic situations or create conflicts and have confrontations where it's not necessary and that it's not needed. There are more elegant ways to go about things in which the mannerism is attractive to people to approach a teaching. And if they have an open mind, they can safely explore what these selections are. And I'm all about choice, having a choice in the matter. So there are different philosophies, obviously, and so we want to be able to present different ideas here. And each of the courses and what the presentations might have a certain quality to them that differs from another particular course, and that's understandable. But as far as the platform goes itself, we're non-denominational, and it's an open invitation for you to come teach or to take whatever courses you desire. We don't want to discourage. At the same time, we don't want to overly encourage because it's an open invitation. There definitely could be some enticements, like doing videos like this, doing summits, some webinars, seminars, offering gifts, free books, you name it. Well, that's okay, because in that way, it's very freedom-based, and I'm all about that. Well, it's for you to contemplate, to meditate, prayer, whatever way that you go about things, to sort of consider what the possibilities of Spirit College are for you. I would look forward to hearing from you. So you can go to spiritcollege.com and leave a comment, or you can email me, mike@spiritcollege.com. Thank you very much for tuning in and checking this out and giving your ideas and thoughts towards the creation and the launch of spiritcollege.com. Thanks very much.